Hi, welcome to Transform Your Talk. This is Jenna.
This is Jeff.
We are joined today by an amazing K-9 nutritionist. Her name is Taylor Sims. Welcome, Taylor.
Hi.
So Taylor, I see you brought a furry friend today, or two.
I brought two, Evie and Ellie.
Oh, well, hi, Evie and Ellie, welcome. I've got Noodle back here. You can't see him, the golden doodle. And we've invited you today to come on to talk to us about you, what you're doing, your female-owned business, and what we can do to keep these canine companions of ours healthy.
Awesome.
So tell us a little bit about you, Taylor.
So I just turned 21 and I've been in business for almost 2 years, which is crazy. I started my business at 19, right? Like 3 days after I started college, I went and looked at my business, like my first location, which was pretty crazy. And it's been history ever since.
What is your business called?
It's called the Bow Wow Teak and it's in downtown Richland.
Okay, so Bow Wow Tea. So are you like a bakery, a food store? What exactly are you?
So I have like a bunch of cool stuff right now. We have like supplements, we have holistic chews, which are like your body parts, cow ears, and that kind of stuff, which kind of freaks people out, but I have a lot of fun with it. I do make cakes occasionally for people who order those, which is fun.
What are the doggy treats made of?
So I have like a mix that I use. And then I frost them with like a yogurt frosting.
Yum. Well, very cool. So you started your business a few years ago while in college. What are you studying in school?
Animal health and behavior, and then I just got a certification in animal nutrition.
And where do you study this?
So I'm at Unity Environmental University right now.
Okay. And you're studying nutrition there. Very cool. What has been kind of we joke, Jeff and I, in our career field, there's a good and bad and ugly in every career field and probably in life too. So what would you say the good and the bad and maybe the ugly of starting a business and enduring a business for a few years comes with?
I think everybody talks about the financial aspect of starting a business and how it's hard financially, and nobody really talks about what kind of toll that takes on your mental health. Obviously it's a big toll financially too. There's a lot that goes into it. You're going to work every single day and you're working lots of hours and not getting paid, and that probably also is part of the whole mental health thing. But it's a lot, and especially when you get online and social media is part of my job and it helps build my business. But getting on social media and seeing my friends going out or doing what normal 19, 20, 21-year-olds are doing, and I'm not able to do that because I have work in the morning and I'm working and going to school and all that stuff.
Okay, so you're starting a new business, you're utilizing social media. I know Jeff and I in our business have used social media. He's used it as an attorney prior. What about the haters? Because I think we all got some and we're in a world of social media and haters. What do you do about that as a young business owner, that doing something that you love, that you're just trying to thrive at?
You try to be as nice as possible. I haven't had that many haters.
Yay.
Very yay. I've only had one hater at one point, and I was as nice as I could be to her, and I was like, hey, here's the situation. I can't be open 24/7 because school has to come first for me. And she ended up deleting her comment and messaging me privately and being like, hey, like, I didn't know the situation. I'm really sorry. Like, I shouldn't have said those things. And we worked it out.
That's awesome. It sounds like you're learning one of those very important aspects of being a business owner, and a field that Jeff and I find near and dear is communication.
Absolutely.
You know, you were straight up and communicated openly and honestly, and it worked out really, really well. So that's fantastic. So you're in Richland, you've got the Bow Wow Teak open. Now, tell me a little bit about, how is a K-9 nutritionist different from, say, a vet? Because I know Jeff's a dog owner, you know, Noodle is down here under your chair. You know, we take them to the vet and everything like that. And I'm one of those people that when I'm not taking them to the vet, I'm on Chewy or I'm taking them to like Petco. So how is a K-9 nutritionist more valuable than that? What can you offer? What do you do?
So I would say the main difference between like a vet and a canine nutritionist would be that vets don't take any sort of like classes. If you do, like, I think MSU offers one nutrition class as part of vet school. So you're not learning as much about the nutrition side of things. You're more learning about if your dog comes in with a broken leg, your vet is learning how to fix that as opposed to internal issues and how to fix it internally instead of externally.
Okay, wonderful.
I wanna know why dogs. Why are you in the dog business?
Why am I in the dog business? That's a great question. I worked at a dog kennel in like middle school and high school, and I absolutely fell in love with dogs. Granted, I was just like a kennel assistant. I just cleaned runs and, you know, got to do the play groups and stuff. But I kind of fell in love with the aspect of that. And then I met someone at my job who was going to MSU, and she was very into like nutrition and that kind of stuff. And then I had, right about the same time, I had an Irish setter who got sick, and we were trying to figure out how to help her, and there was no one that could help her other than our vet had said, hey, like, there's an animal nutritionist over in Lansing, and like they might be able to do a panel and kind of figure that out. And I didn't even realize that nutrition was even an option to go into for the dog business. And at that point, I kind of realized, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
So I mean, I'm an old guy, and we used to put the dogs in the dog house out in the backyard and feed them whatever convenient hard dog food there was at the grocery store or the general store. Nowadays, it's a whole different thing,
It is, very much so.
because we love these animals, we want them to be healthy, right?
Absolutely.
You help them get healthy.
I try to.
So I have a doodle who is constantly scratching and digging and has allergies. And we've tried everything. We have tried all kinds of different foods. The vets have given us options. My brother-in-law's a vet, so we get extra bonus material and information from him. Nothing seems to work. What would you recommend?
So for dogs with allergies, I have a lot of dogs who come into my store and their owners are like, hey, I don't know what to do. I've tried everything and nothing seems to be working. What I recommend the most is probably Smack pet food, especially the fish recipe. It's,
You have a bag.
I do.
And Noodle is already very interested.
Oh,
in
yeah,
it.
of
There's our
course.
snack pet food.
But it's a great base diet. It's a Canadian food, which I prefer Canadian foods over American foods. For a number of different reasons, but Smack is just a great base because it's just meat and veggies and bone meal and like the good stuff.
So no additives that are gonna be harmful.
No additives, no synthetics, no nothing. What you see is what you get.
And what else do you do besides consult and provide products for dogs?
So that's other than like retail and then consulting and that kind of stuff, that's pretty much mainly what I do right now. I have a couple of different businesses that are in the works. We've got supplements and enrichment coming and a bunch of fun products coming soon.
And I see outside of the food you brought, which I'm gonna ask you more about.
Absolutely.
But what are those other fun little toys over there? Because I think there's probably a big market for all those fun little toys for our dogs.
Yeah.
I know Noodle loves this one from your shop. He loves unicorns. So tell us about some of the products you have.
So like this is a topple, which is pretty cool. You're able to, I have a lot of people who, even kibble feeders, they'll fill it, they'll put water or goat's milk or something in it to kind of make a liquid base. Throw it in the freezer and it'll take 45 minutes or so for their dog to get through, which is great for mental stimulation. Mental stimulation is a lot better for dogs than even physical activity. Like if I'm not in the mood when I get home from work to take the dogs for a walk, here's a topple. I don't have time to go for a walk. I have homework to do, whatever. It's great for busy people. Same with like leg mats and stuff. Like bowls, leg mat bowls and stuff. So
What do you stick peanut butter in there or something? No?
You can stick peanut butter in it. I personally wouldn't. It's super high calorie, and has a lot of fats in it too, so. But I have people, they'll put goat yogurt in it, you can put bone broth in it,
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. So if I wanted to buy snack food, but I'm in the Lansing area, I don't get out to Richland, no offense, not very often. So how would someone like me buy that?
So I have a website, thebowwowteak.com, and you can go on there and you can order it and I can have it shipped to your house. You can, I also have the ability that you can come and pick it up in store if you're in the area. And you just want a quick pass through, just already order it, just come in and grab it. That works too.
Okay, now when you do consulting, again, living in Lansing, if Noodle develops an issue and I can't drive all the way out there, could I hop on Zoom
Absolutely.
and show you the issue and say, hey, what can we do, and diagnose these things online?
Yeah, so I'm hoping here very, very soon to offer Zoom or email consulting. Email consulting is a little bit newer, and a lot of nutritionists that I follow are now doing email consulting because it's easier for everybody. You can just hop on, take a survey of everything, like put your concerns, what you want out of it. And then your nutritionist can come back and be like, hey, this is what I think is gonna work. Let's try this for like 6 or 8 weeks. You can come back and we'll try it again if it's not working.
Wonderful. So you have the ability to basically do doggy telehealth.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, I know COVID opened us up to a lot of different Zoom things, but telehealth for our dogs is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Well, I really, really like that. And I'm hopeful that people will take advantage of these great services that you offer. I do want to know, I guess, a little bit further, the people like me that unfortunately we like go to Petco and Chewy and things like that. What are a couple of tips you can give us and our listeners, at least on this visit here, because we're hoping we can have you back again sometime.
Absolutely.
What would be like the 3 tips you can give everybody to help keep their canine healthy?
So my top tips are soak your kibble, whether it be water or bone broth or goat's milk or whatever. Soak your kibble if you're a kibble feeder. I feed smack and I still soak my smack for the girls. My second tip would be enrichment. Like I said, topples are super easy enrichment. There's things like Portland pet food, which is like a meat and a veggie and a starch. You can throw that in a topple, freeze it, give it to them, super easy. And if you're going to feed a homemade diet, make sure that it's balanced. Chicken, rice, and veggies is not a balanced meal. It does not meet all of your different nutritional profiles that you need. So if you're gonna do that, make sure that it's balanced, get your organ meats, your bone meats. If you're not gonna do that, then at least get like a balanced powder to kind of fill in the gaps there. Because we don't want your dogs to have any sort of vitamin or mineral deficiencies down the line that can cause major issues as they get older.
Well, let me ask, so if I find that, my dog is having issues with his skin or a problem, going to the vet is pretty expensive for them to go, you need to get in touch with a nutritionist or whatever. So it sounds like maybe a stop to you, whether that's email in Richland or on Zoom, would probably be cost effective as well.
Absolutely. And especially with like skin and coat issues, like that's usually a quick-ish fix. It's usually a lack of omegas. So here you go, here's ultra oil, and then you're good to go. And that usually helps with skin issues, especially right now with the allergies and the pollen and all that good stuff.
So Jeff, I have a question for you. You have a doodle and I have a doodle. They look very, very different. They're different sizes. They eat different foods. Would you say nutritionally that they're probably a little bit different too, like their nutrition profiles?
Perhaps, I don't know about your noodle, my noodle is very picky about food, so feeding for him is an emotional experience. It's gotta be the right time, the right place. People have to be in the right spot in the kitchen. I mean, he's a real freak.
Well, that's so loving and sweet. On the other hand, my doodle is a free feeder. He just eats and drinks as he pleases, and he gets, 5 to 10 miles of walking in a day with me. And so he's very, very active, but just very different little ones. And it sounds like different emotional profile, the nutritional profiles and everything.
I don't know how you deal with that. I mean, let's say you feed the dog, you got the great nutrition thing going, you got the good coat, but the dog's still screwed up. Dog psychology, is that an answer? Like, what do
It
you
sounds
think?
like the enrichment maybe, right?
I would definitely recommend enrichment. However, there is like behaviorists that would potentially be able to help those issues.
Well, like Ziggy's case, he's a friendly dog, he's all over the place, people love him. So I don't know about the emotional, but when it comes to eating, yeah, there's an issue there, so
Mhm.
maybe it's the food.
It could be the food, and it could also just be that he doesn't get anything out of eating in terms of like stimulation mentally.
I don't know.
You could throw it in a topple or a puzzle or something and make him work for it, because technically, like in the wild, dogs and wolves have to work for their food.
Oh, yeah.
So some dogs enjoy having to work for their food, and they don't want just a bowl on the kitchen floor, and they can
Okay,
just go and do whatever they want.
I like that.
So the topple, if Jeff wanted to buy one of those for
This-
Ziggy,
Yes,
he could go to your store, to Richland, in Richland, or online?
absolutely.
Cool, that sounds like fun for summer too, because it's nice and cold.
It is, and I have a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, we do that, like, we'll come home from work and we'll just give them a topple out on the porch, and they can just enjoy the sunshine and like their topples, and I'm like, that is an amazing idea.
How do you charge people? Just stuff they sell, product?
Yeah, right now I'm not charging for consultations. That will be changing here momentarily as I now that I have my certification and I'm getting, more education on it and stuff, and I have the ability to charge now.
Yeah.
Instead of just talking in store. But yeah,
So would you do that by the hour, or would you just look at the situation, say flat fee, or you don't know yet, you just
so
experiment?
the other nutritionists that I follow and that I know, they usually charge it by the case. So it'll be like a set fee, and then you'll have your initial fee, which will be your consultation, whatever, and then 6 weeks later, usually it's a much smaller fee just to go over and make sure that everything's good to go.
Okay.
And the nice thing, it sounds like, is that you can continue to work with the K-9 to figure out the right profiles that you need for nutrition, figure out maybe the social, emotional aspects that are connected to eating for them. So people will get that continuity of care from you, because you can be the consultant that says, I do sell this product. Even if you don't want to buy it from me, I can recommend it. I've tested it. Do these two little cuties over here test the products?
More than they probably could. If they're at the store, usually I'll walk over, and if I'm sitting there with somebody that I know and a customer that's been in before, and the girls are out and about and whatever, I'll walk over and I'll be like, here's a rabbit ear. You can chew on this while I'm talking, and pretty much every product that comes in is Evie and Ellie approved.
Well, wonderful.
Very well behaved, I tell you, people that know me know that I'm not a dog lover, but you wouldn't know that today.
Well, and you all can't see, Noodle is laying down here under the table, brushed right up against their bed. So he's being a good boy and enjoying the bed you brought too.
The bed that they're not using.
Yeah, but it's okay, Noodle's laying up against it. So even if they don't love being in the products, they love being next to them too, apparently.
Exactly.
You mentioned soaking kibble, and I just wanted to ask, because I've never heard of this before. What do you soak it in?
So you can soak it in water if you so desire to. You can soak it in bone broth. You can soak it in like goat yogurt mixed with water, or
Wow.
goat milk, or whatever you want. As long as it's like dog safe, don't just go and get broth out of the aisle at Myers. Because the odds of it having celery and garlic and onions, it's high, and you don't want to give your dog that. So, but soaking your kibble is really good for digestion. It helps with absorption too, and especially if you're giving like dry kibble, your dog is not getting enough moisture from that to fully digest it. So adding a little bit of water and soaking your kibble really helps with that.
Good to know. Can I go on your website and find things like maybe a recipe for broth that is safe for my dog?
Not currently, however, the website is about to undergo a massive renovation because we're going to have weekly blog posts here really
Nice.
soon. And I hadn't thought about doing a recipe on bone broth, but that's a really good idea, and I will add that to the one of the blog posts.
Well, I know I would be interested in, since I live for my Instant Pot, it would be great if I could make it in my Instant Pot with all the nutritionally balanced things for Noodle, the golden doodle, but for dogs in general, it would be great. What is your blog gonna be called?
So it's going to be Shoreline Pet Nutrition, which is the name of what will be my supplement company, and right now is Dog Electrolyte Smoothies.
Ooh,
Nice.
doggy smoothies. That's like better than a pub cup, Noodle. You love pub cups, so a smoothie, that sounds great.
I just did an event this past weekend at Bark in the Park, the Growlers game in Kalamazoo, and got to test out the smoothie mix for the first time, and dogs loved it.
Yay! Well, we hope we can have you back on again, telling us about all the happenings. I look forward to reading the blog, finding some recipes maybe, and more great toys and interesting things. And Jeff, do you have any final questions or parting words for our awesome guest, Taylor?
I just wonder if we can get the dogs, any of them or all of them, to say goodbye,
Oh,
like make noise.
no, Noodle, come
I don't know if we can get Ellie to make noise.
here.
They're awful
Come on,
quiet, nervous to be on TV.
come on.
Because normally Ellie will squeak in the morning and it's really funny, and I think my neighbors think that I'm killing her because she has a very high pitched squeak. But of course, she's not gonna make it when we want her to.
Well, anyway, thank you, Taylor, for coming on today, and thank you, girls, and Noodle the Doodle as well.
Thank you
Been a
for,
pleasure.
thank you for coming on, and if anyone has any follow-up questions, let us know. In the meantime, thanks for listening. This is Jenna.
And Jeff.
Peace out.
And from John.
Bye.
Bye-bye.